Hey everybody, it's Julie, and in this month's newsletter, I'm going to be playing with the We Are Memory Keepers fuse, which is a spiffy little gadget that Ellen and I saw at CHA this year. It comes with a metal ruling guide, 2 different tips, and a stand. You can also option to purchase the glass mat separately, which I really like because it has a ruling guide on it and it will protect my work surface from that hot tool. Now the stand that comes with it is very flimsy. I'm not sure why they did that, but I added some fun foam to the bottom of it to try to keep it from slipping around on my work surface. It's really not the best stand and I'm looking for a better solution, so just so you know. This tip is the pointed tip, and with this tip you can actually melt through the plastic of your page protector, and you're going to cut and fuse at the same time with the pointed tip. The other tip has a wheel with little spikes on it, and it's used just for fusing. So the tool was developed for creating custom pockets in your page protectors. So I did want to mention that before you put a tip in, make sure that tool is unplugged and cool to the touch. And then you can go ahead and screw whichever tip you want to work in with but make sure you just do it finger tight. Don't use pliers and make it really tight in there. Otherwise, ask me how I know. You'll have a devil of a time getting it out if you screw it in too tight. So finger tight. Now I'm going to plug it in and you can see how that stand kind of moved around and why I'm looking for a better solution. Now Ellen and I got so excited because we wanted to use this to create like shaker cards and all kinds of fun things. And today I'm actually going to create a variation of the very popular pocket letters using Avery L. or Ellen Hutson storage sleeves. These are the perfect size. And you'll see why as I'm working on my project. Anyway, I took a piece of cardstock and I was able to divide it out into 4 sections so that I knew what kind of sections I wanted to have on my little plastic pocket here. So I'm going to insert that because I actually want to slice through the middle of this storage pocket so that I can create 4 different pockets. So I'm lining up my tool. I actually taped it down, and that way it won't shift on me. And I'm going to line up the ruler there and then take the hot metal tip. This is the cutting tip. And I'm going to run it across. And the reason why the cardstock is in there is it works as a guide because I have those lines that I can see, but it also prevents me from melting through to the other side and actually cutting and melting the whole pocket in half. It's just going to cut through that top layer, and the cardstock is going to act as a buffer and protect the other side of the pocket. And here you can see now I have a slit going across. Now you could put a cutting mat inside and use a craft knife if you wanted to, but I wanted to see how this would work. And then I had to let it cool completely before I switched tips, and then I could reheat it again. So if you're making you might want to do all your cutting, do all your projects at one time with the cutting. So now I want to make another line where I'm actually going to fuse just above the line I cut, so that I'll have a separate section at the top of my pocket. And I'm going to use that grid line there as a guide. And now you can see I've removed the cardstock because I need to fuse through both layers of the plastic there to create that pocket. So I've got the wheel with the little pokey spikes on it. And I'm going to go ahead and line it up in that tool. And if it skips, you can feel it sometimes when it stops spinning. And so I just went back over those spots where it kind of skipped and just press the tool back down. And you want to use firm pressure and go a little bit slowly. You don't want to go too fast or it doesn't have time to melt and fuse everything. But when I'm done, I'll have that top half fused. So I've got 2 pockets. Now to create 4 pockets, I needed to rotate this sleeve so that I could go vertically now. And the tape at the top is not only to help keep it from shifting in place on the work surface, but it's also there as a guide so that I don't start fusing right through the flap of my sleeve here, because I wanted to make sure I just stopped at the very top. Now I did the first 6 inches that I could, and then I'm just going to reposition the ruling guide there and just move it down a little bit further, and then I can continue. And it's pretty easy to see through there and just line everything back up and keep going on the same line that you started. So you'll never know that I had to stop and lift it up and keep going. So now I've got a complete fused line all the way down the center of that sleeve, but I didn't end up fusing the flap because it was protected with my Post-it tape there. And now you can see when I'm done, I've got 4 pockets, 4 separate pockets there. So what am I going to do with this? I'm going to create something that we're calling Hot Little Pockets, and it's kind of based on the whole pocket letters craze that's going on right now. So I'm going to start by taking some I had some Project Life cards. I really had big ambitions. I was going to do Project Life. No, it's 2 years now and I still have the same package and haven't done anything with it, but I love the patterns. So I took some of those journaling cards and cut them down to fit inside the pockets, and I liked it because they coordinated together. They already had some pre-printed stuff on them that made them cute and fun, so it wasn't going to take me long to decorate these. So I ended up trimming down the one on the upper left pocket a little bit, and I put in a die cut congrats. I'm just going to stuff it with some fun confetti, and then when I'm done, I'm going to fuse it shut. So I'm just going to use the tool. I left it heated there on my work surface, and then I'm just going to use that ruler, and I actually used just the outside edge of the ruler instead of the slot there to go ahead and fuse the top of that pocket shut. And now I can shake it, and all the confetti and sequins and everything is going to stay inside. It's all contained. It's not going to go anywhere. So that's really fun. And then I went ahead and finished. There you can see where the fuse line is, where I refused that pocket shut to seal everything in. I decided to decorate the flap with some washi tape, and I just cut a piece that would fit just the dimensions of that flap. And then I'm just going to fold over the raw edges there on the edge of my flap and fold over the angles there at the sides. So that'll just give me a nice finished edge on my flap. And then I can use that in a decorative way to actually fold everything over. Now I attached a die cut foil star because I thought it just was a fun embellishment for this. This is a graduation hot little pocket for a friend of my son's who is graduating with him this year. And then I'm just going to use some baker's twine there to go ahead and tie everything shut. I didn't want to glue it shut, but you could, do some of those little fun Velcro things if you wanted to keep it closed. But I just did this. And then the reason why we got so excited about this is when we fold these in half, if you fold them at the right spot and do your fusing and your pockets at the right spot, you can actually fold it in half and fit it inside an A2 envelope. Isn't that cute? I just thought this was a really fun take on the pocket letters. I wanted to put some fun little surprises and some shaker stuff in there, and I had so much fun I had to make another one. So you can see all the details, more information and still shots and a list of featured supplies at the In Touch blog. Everything's available at ellenhutson.com, and thanks for watching.